Thought I left them in the city, buried in the past. But when I pulled into my driveway, they were standing on the grass. Every wrong I'd ever done lined up like soldiers in the dark. The night my sins followed me home again and broke my heart. They knocked upon my door around midnight, wouldn't let me be, reminding me of all the damage, all the misery. I tried to slam the door and lock them out, but they just wouldn't leave. The night my sins followed me home again, brought me to my knees. The night my sins followed me home again, I had nowhere left to hide. Every ghost I thought I'd buried was standing right outside. The night my sins followed me home again and demanded to be paid. So I opened up that door and faced them one by one, confessed them all to Jesus, what I'd said and what I'd done. He stepped between me and that army, said, "This man is mine." The night my sins followed me home again, Jesus drew the line. You can't outrun your past, can't hide from what you've done, but Jesus stands between you and the battles you can't win. The night my sins followed me home again, Jesus met them at my door, showed them all his nail-scarred hands, said, "I've paid for this before." The night my sins followed me home again, they had to walk away. Yeah, the night my sins followed me home again, Jesus made them leave and stay away. Now when my past comes knocking, I don't answer anymore, 'cause the night my sins followed me home again, Jesus locked that door.
I was holding on to something I'd been carrying for years, written on a piece of paper, soaked with blood and tears. A prayer I'd never spoken, kept it folded up real tight. A prayer fell from my hands at the river's edge that night. I watched it hit the water, saw the current take it down, floating like a message to some holy distant ground. My fingers finally empty, my burden finally gone. fell from my hands at the river's edge at dawn. A prayer fell from my hands at the river's edge, and the water carried it away to the only one who could answer what I'd been too scared to say. A prayer fell from my hands at the river's edge, and God caught it just the same. I stood there on the bank and watched that page disappear. Felt a weight lift off my shoulders, felt God drawing near. He said, son, I've heard that prayer every day you've held it close. A prayer fell from my hands at the river's edge, but he heard it most. Some prayers are spoken, some are written down, some are just released, and they never make a sound. A prayer fell from my hands at the river's edge, but it never hit the ground. God was there to catch it in the current's holy sound. A prayer fell from my hands at the river's edge, and my soul was finally free. Yeah, a prayer fell from my hands at the river's edge, and God answered me. Now I know that prayers don't need perfect words or perfect form, just a heart that's willing to let go and be transformed.
I'd been climbing up that mountain for what felt like all my life, carrying my pride and anger, carrying my strife. My legs gave out beneath me, couldn't take another step. The cross stood where my strength had given out, where I wept. I fell down on the pathway, couldn't move, couldn't stand. Looked up and saw it towering, reaching toward God's hand. Right there at my breaking point, right where I collapsed. The cross stood where my strength had given out at last. The cross stood where my strength had given out at the end of all my trying. Right where I stopped fighting, right where I stopped lying. The cross stood where my strength had given out, and it was meant to be. I crawled up to that wooden beam and grabbed hold with both hands. Felt the power of salvation that no man can understand. My weakness met His mercy, my failure met His grace. The cross stood where my strength had given out, saved me in that place. We have to reach the end of everything we've got before we find the cross.
standing in that spot. The cross stood where my strength had given out, where I had nothing left to give. That's where Jesus found me, that's where He taught me how to live. The cross stood where my strength had given out. Now I'm standing tall. Yeah, the cross stood where my strength had given out, and it was there to catch my fall. And now I know my weakness is where His power starts. The cross stood where my strength had given out, and mended all my broken parts. There's a fence line on the edge of town with gaps in every board, where the wood has rotted through and the nails won't hold no more. I was walking past that evening feeling lost and all alone. I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, leading me back home. The wind came through those openings with a sound I can't explain, like angels singing softly, calling out my name. It said, "The broken places, let the light shine through." I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, and I knew it was true. I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, where the world said there was lack. God was using what was damaged to call His children back. I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, and it spoke straight to my soul. I stood there at that fence line, and I touched the weathered wood, realized I was just like it, broken but still good. God uses cracked and splintered things to speak His holy word. I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, and my spirit stirred. What the world calls useless, God calls beautiful. The broken places are where His voice is most woeful. I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, in the gaps and in the cracks, where perfection couldn't reach me, grace came flooding back. I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, made me feel whole again. Yeah, I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, and I've been listening ever since then. Now I know that broken fences ain't something to repair, 'cause I heard heaven whisper through the broken fence, and God's voice was in the air. I walked back to the place where I'd committed all my crimes. The dirt road still looked the same after all this time. Every footstep kicked up memories I tried to bury deep. The dust remembered the man I tried to forget, wouldn't let me sleep. I saw the outline of my shadow from 10 years before. The angry, broken person
I don't wanna be no more. But the dust held every detail, every step I took in shame. The dust remembered the man I tried to forget, called him by his name. The dust remembered the man I tried to forget, every wrong turn that I made, every soul I left in sorrow, every price that wasn't paid. The dust remembered the man I tried to forget, and it rose up all around. I fell down on that dusty road and cried out to the Lord. I can't escape my history, can't outrun what I've ignored. He said, son, the dust remembers, but I've chosen to forgive. The dust remember the man I tried to forget, but Jesus let me live. The earth holds all our stories, every step along the way, but mercy writes a new one, starting today. The dust remembered the man I tried to forget, but God remembered grace. Took that man and buried him, put a new man in his place. The dust remembered the man I tried to forget, but I'm not him anymore. Yeah, the dust remembered the man I tried to forget, but Jesus closed that door. Now when I walk that dusty road, I don't fear what it recalls, 'cause the dust remember the man I tried to forget. But God's mercy covers all.
My hands were shaking, my heart was cold as ice. I'd made 1,000 bad decisions, paid a heavy price. We're standing on that gravel path with nowhere left to go. Grace found me trembling on the old back road. I couldn't stop the shaking, couldn't make it cease. The fear and guilt and shame had taken all my peace. But then I felt the warmth come over me like morning sun. Grace found me trembling on the old back road, said, son, you're the one. Grace found me trembling on the old back road when I was falling apart. Didn't wait for me to steady, just took my trembling heart. Grace found me trembling on the old back road and made me whole again. It didn't ask me to be strong or to pretend I was okay. Just wrapped itself around me, took my fear away. Now I'm still trembling, but it's different than before. Grace found me trembling on the old back road, and I tremble for the Lord. God don't need us steady, don't need us standing tall. He meets us in our weakness, catches us when we fall. Grace found me trembling with my knees about to give. Pick me up from nothing, taught this dead man how to live. Grace found me trembling on the old back road. Now I'm walking in the light. Yeah, grace found me trembling on the old back road, and everything's alright. Now my hands still tremble sometimes, but it's from praise, not fear. His grace found me trembling on the old back road. And grace is still right here. I've been living in denial, hiding from the light, pretending I was righteous when I knew it wasn't right. But one night in the shadows, alone with my disgrace, when the darkness finally told me the truth about my face. It said, look at who you really are. Stop running from your sin. You can't hide in daylight when the rod is from within. And standing there confronted, I couldn't lie no more. When the darkness finally told me the truth, I hit the floor. When the darkness finally told me the truth, I couldn't run away. Had to face the man inside me, had to kneel and pray. When the darkness finally told me the truth, it set my spirit free. I thought the dark was evil, thought it was my enemy, but God used it like a mirror so that I could finally see that I needed saving, needed grace, needed to be made new. When the darkness finally told me the truth, I knew what I must do. Sometimes truth comes in the shadows, where we can't pretend, where we face what we've been hiding. That's where healing can begin. When the darkness finally told me the truth, I ran into the light, confessed to Jesus everything, laid down my pride that night. When the darkness finally told me the truth, it led me to His grace. Yeah, when the darkness finally told me the truth, I found my saving place. Now I'm not afraid of darkness, not afraid of what it shows, 'cause when the darkness finally told me the truth, it's how redemption flows. Everything inside me had been shattered, burned, and broke. Nothing left but rubble, nothing left but smoke. I was sifting through the wreckage, didn't think I'd ever be whole, when a hymn rose from the ruins. I called my soul.
don't know where it came from, that melody so sweet, rising through the ashes underneath my feet. It sang of resurrection, sang of hope renewed. The hymn rose from the ruins I call my soul. And it was true, a hymn rose from the ruins I call my soul. When I thought nothing could survive, a song of holy beauty proved I was still alive. A hymn rose from the ruins I call my soul. And it was singing praise. I opened up my mouth and joined that heavenly refrain. My voice was cracked and broken, but I sang through all the pain. God was making music from the wreckage of my life. A hymn rose from the ruins I called my soul that night. In the devastation, in the broken, empty space, God plants seeds of worship that bloom with saving grace. So the hymn rose from the ruins I call my soul, like a flower through the stone, turning all my sorrow into praise before the throne. A hymn rose from the ruins I called my soul, made me finally whole. Yeah, a hymn rose from the ruins I called my soul. And God restored my soul. Now I'm singing every morning from the ruins He rebuilt, 'cause a hymn rose from the ruins I called my soul. And it's a song without guilt. I was falling apart at the seams, coming all undone. Everything I'd built was crumbling one by one. But underneath my feet that asphalt stayed solid and true. The road held me together when I couldn't pull me through. My mind was scattered pieces, my heart was broken glass. The road just kept on stretching, letting me pass. Mile after mile of mercy underneath my tires. The road held me together when I couldn't through the fire. The road held me together when I couldn't, solid underneath my fall. And everything was chaos, it was steady through it all. The road held me together when I couldn't, and it showed me God's own hand. I realized that highway was a picture of His grace, constant and unchanging, always in its place. While I was breaking down, the road stayed strong and firm. The road held me together when I couldn't help me learn. something solid to help me make it through. The road held me together when I couldn't, led me to the light. Yeah, the road held me together when I couldn't. Now everything's alright. Now I thank God for the highway, for the road beneath my feet, 'cause the road held me together when I couldn't, made this broken man complete. The fire had taken everything, my house, my dreams, my pride. Nothing left but blackened earth, stretching far and wide. I thought my faith had burned up too, consumed by all that flame. But I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes, calling out my name. It was wounded, it was dirty, barely moving through the dust, but it kept on coming toward me, wouldn't give up its trust. Through the smoke and devastation, through the wreckage and the pain, I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes again. I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes, wounded but alive. Something in me that refused to die, something that survived. I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes, and it reached out for my hand. I knelt down in the rubble and I picked it up with care, held it close against my chest, lifted up a prayer. God said, son, your faith is stronger than you ever knew. I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes, and it grew. What survives the fire is worth its weight in gold. The faith that makes it through the flames will never grow old. I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes, battered but not gone. Prove that God was with me, help me carry on. I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes, now it's standing strong. Yeah, I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes, and it's been there all along. Now I know that faith can't burn, can't be destroyed by flame. I saw my faith crawling back through the ashes, and it ain't ever been the same. I was standing on the hilltop with my mouth shut tight, too scared to speak the prayer that kept me up at night. But the wind came rushing past me, picked up what I couldn't say. The wind carried the words I was afraid to pray. And I'd been holding them inside me, locked up behind my fear. Thought if I never spoke them, they might disappear. But the wind heard my heart crying, heard the silent scream. The wind carried the words I was afraid to pray to the one supreme. The wind carried the words I was afraid to pray. Up to heaven's throne spoke the things I couldn't, made my needs known. The wind carried the words I was afraid to pray. I felt a peace wash over me as that wind blew strong. Realized I didn't have to say it, God knew all along. He reads the prayers we're scared to speak, hears the silent cries. The wind carried the words I was afraid to pray to the skies. Sometimes prayer is silent, sometimes it's just a thought, but God hears every whisper, every battle that we fought. The wind carried the words I was afraid to pray. When I was too scared to speak, took my unspoken burden, laid it at His feet. The wind carried the words I was afraid to pray. Now I'm not afraid anymore. Yeah, the wind carried the words I was afraid to pray and opened heaven's door. Now I know that even silence can be a prayer that's heard, 'cause the wind carried the words I was afraid to pray without me saying a word. I've been walking through the darkness of what felt like 40 years. No sign of morning coming, no relief from all my fears. The night just kept on going, never saw the break of day. God met me where the night refused to end, showed me the way. I was tired of the shadows, tired of stumbling blind, tired of the endless blackness pressing on my mind. But right there in that darkness, deeper than I'd ever been, God met me where the night refused to end. Let the light in. God met me where the night refused to end, in the deepest, darkest place. Didn't wait for morning, just brought His holy grace. God met me where the night refused to end, and He became my life. He said, son, I'm not afraid of darkness, I created night. I'm here in every shadow, I'm the only source of light. Now I don't fear the blackness, don't need the sun to rise. God met me where the night refused to end, opened up my eyes. Dawn will come eventually, but we don't have to wait. God is in the darkness shine, turned my endless midnight into something so divine. God met me where the night refused to end, and He's been here since then. Yeah, God met me where the night refused to end. I'm not lost again. Now I walk through darkness with my head held high, 'cause God met me where the night refused to end, and He's my light and guide. The storm had passed an hour ago, but water still came down, dripping off the rooftops in that quiet little town. I was standing in the street with nothing left to say. God waited for me in the rain-soaked silence that day. I'd been running from His calling, filling up the air with noise, radio and whiskey, anything to drown His voice. But standing in that stillness with the rain against my skin, God waited for me in the rain-soaked silence let me in. God waited for me in the rain-soaked silence when my words had all run dry. In the quiet after thunder, He was standing by my side. God waited for me in the rain-soaked silence, and He didn't need me to speak. I opened up my mouth, but nothing came out at all. Just stood there in the wetness, tears began to fall. He said, "Son, I hear your heart, don't need your words today." God waited for me in the rain-soaked silence, took my pain away. Sometimes the loudest prayer is the one we never say. God hears the heart that's breaking in the silence where we stay. God waited for me in the rain-soaked silence, heard what I couldn't say. Read every unspoken confession, wash my guilt away. God waited for me in the rain-soaked silence, now I understand His way. Yeah, God waited for me in the rain-soaked silence and saved me anyway. Now I know that silence ain't the absence of His voice. It's where He speaks the clearest, where broken hearts rejoice.